In this lesson, you will learn how to use object snap tracking and will gain more drawing experience with a mechanical part project. Object snap tracking allows you to infer snap points which aren't on other existing objects. You can use object snap tracking to zero in on the significant points implied by the geometry in your drawing. Open the Part 3 project file. We're going to be replicating this drawing here on the right half of the screen. Click the rectangle tool, and then click some arbitrary point over here on the right half of the drawing. Type the @ symbol on the keyboard to tell AutoCAD that you want to input coordinates relative to the first point picked. The x-coordinate is given in the diagram as 5.55 units, so type that in. Press Tab to advance to the y-coordinate value. This is also given in the diagram as the sum of 3 different dimensions. 3.34 plus 2 is 5.34, so I'll type that in. Press Enter to complete the rectangle. The next thing I'd like to do is offset some lines from this object. But if I hover the cursor over the object, the tooltip says it's a polyline. If I were to offset this polyline inside of it, I would get yet another rectangle. And that's not my intention. Instead, my approach will be to explode the polyline, thus turning it into 4 individual lines. Click Explode on the Modify panel, select the rectangle, and press Enter. Now you can see that these are individual lines. That's going to work much better. Click the Offset tool and type 1, which is the dimension given in the diagram here, here, and here, and press Enter. Then select this right edge, move the mouse to the left, and click. Select the lower edge, move the mouse up, and click. And it looks like we need one more line here, so we'll offset this line up one last time, and press Enter. We need to trim away these 2 segments. So let's use the Trim command. Press Enter initially to indicate that you want to select all the objects in the drawing as potential trimming edges. Then click these 2 segments to trim them away. Finally, press Enter to end the Trim command. Select these 2 short horizontal lines, and we need to change their line type. Go up to the Properties panel. In the Line Type drop-down, open it and select Hidden. Press Escape to deselect. Our next task is to locate the center of the circle, and for this we'll use Object Snap Tracking. Turn this mode on the status bar by clicking this button. We'll be tracking from the midpoint of this line. So let's make sure that midpoint is on as a running object snap. Right-click on Object Snap and choose Midpoint. Then go up to the Circle command and select Center Radius, because we know the radius is 1 as given here as a dimension on the diagram. Position the cursor over the midpoint and move it to the right. You'll see that an Object Snap Tracking line appears as a dashed green line. Move the cursor down here and hover over this midpoint and move it up. If you keep moving up, there will come a point where the 2 lines will intersect, and you'll see a small white X appear. If you click here, you'll be telling AutoCAD that's where you want the center of the circle to be. Type 1 Enter to draw in the circle. Now that's all well and good, but it doesn't match the diagram. It appears that the circle is centered in this space. So let's change this line by selecting it. Select the endpoint, move it over, and click. Press Escape to deselect. And let's just fill in this space by drawing another line. Line. I'll click these 2 endpoints and press Enter. Let's draw another circle. And this time we'll track from the midpoint and the midpoint of this new segment, where the intersect will be the center of the circle. I'll type 1 Enter to specify its radius. And finally, I'll erase this circle and press Enter. You learned how to snap the center of a circle to a point which doesn't lie on any existing geometry by using Object Snap Tracking.